we'd like to give a special thank you to PeteCoSupply.com for sponsoring our podcast.
You are joining co-hosts Carol and Jamie of twogalshomesteading.com. Let them help you unleash the homesteader within. Let's start homesteading. Let's start now.
Hi, I'm Carol Radke.
And I'm Jamie Kappas, and we're Two Gals Homesteading.
Hello, Jamie.
Hey, Carol.
So here we are. We don't really have a topic today.
Yeah.
We're just going to talk a little bit about what's going on.
We're going to go back to what we started with.
For a little bit here, and we're just going to talk about what's going on each of our homesteads. There's a lot of stuff going on in my homestead. I'm not sure so much about yours.
No, not a whole lot in mine. Actually, if you've taken the 2 lazy evenings I've had.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to try to keep this. We've decided to use a timer to see if we can keep ourselves under control here. And actually, the timer we have here running, I don't know if you can hear it or not, it's ticking away. I set it for 32 minutes and we're always down to 29 because it started to be a little bit earlier. And this is a timer we got from 4jars.shop. And it came in with our canning lids and rings and let's see, what else did
towels.
We get? We got some towels in there and was that it? Oh, it was a big box. It was a big box. It was a heavy box. It was like 17 pounds.
Yeah. And so I did not know there was a company that made packs of 100 lids.
Yes. Isn't that awesome?
I love that.
Yes.
I love it.
Yep.
And so then the rings and we divvied it up.
Yep. We divvied it up. We actually gave some to Kelsey from DF Homestead. From dffarmstead.com. And so she was gonna make some jam. They were gonna go strawberry picking. And her mother-in-law showed up the day they were gonna go, and she told me her mother-in-law is a little her mother-in-law is a little, what did she call it? Sedentary? Is that what she said?
Oh,
and so
that would
she
be
says
too much walking?
Yeah, we were not going to pick strawberries with her. So they spent the day with her instead. And I don't know if she actually got her strawberry thing done because strawberry season's almost over in this state. It's about 3 weeks in Minnesota.
Yep.
And I know Hillcrest, I think it's Hillcrest, down by Redwood Falls.
Okay.
Today was their last day.
Okay, I did not know if we had any locals anymore because we lost the one by Princeburg.
Yep, and
they shut down.
There is one up by Alexandria. I don't remember what it's called, but there's one up there, and I don't know if it was going or not. I do follow the Hillcrest one, which is down by Redwood Falls, which is just a little too far for me.
Yeah.
But
I'm like going, I don't know if I'd drive that far to pick strawberries.
Yeah. Well, I would probably do pre-picked because too much time on the road. I don't have time to pick the strawberries, but they were, if you tried to get their pre-picked berries, you had to be on there the minute they posted them.
They were gone.
They were gone. They were just gone.
That's when with the place, what was their names? I can't remember.
Brower's Berries.
Yeah. I mean, I did their pre-picked because
that's what I did too.
The time, being self-employed, taking the time.
Yep.
To go out there. It'd be fun. Now that I had grandkids that are old enough to really enjoy it, it would be great. But
yeah, the U-Pick is fun. Yeah. It is fun when you have little kids and stuff. But for me, no. I'll pay somebody to pick my berries.
I pay somebody to milk my cow.
There you go. But anyway, so our season for strawberries is very, very short. And I remember Brower Berries saying that too. It's like a 3 week, and they usually closed around July 4th. They were about done right around July 4th.
Depending on the weather.
Yep, depending on the weather.
If they'd had, whereas the last 3 years, their plants got hit by frost and they lost.
Yeah, they lost a lot. And it was really dry.
Yep.
We had a really dry year. Was that last year? Was that last year really dry in the summer?
Last year was their decision to close. I think.
That's right. They closed last year. I think the year before we had a really dry year like we're kind of experiencing this year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's truly affecting us here in our dairy.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. Rich was just saying that we do rotational grazing out here. So the cows go on a pasture and we prefer to let that pasture rest for 30 days before the cows go back on it. And we have pastures that have been resting for over 40 days now, and there is no growth on those pastures. There's not enough growing there for the cows to come and graze. So right now
Because-
we're kind of grazing them on the low areas where we have a little bit more moisture and that
By
type
the
of thing.
creek?
And supplementing them with actual hay that we've harvested already.
Which
Because
hits
there's
it-
just not enough for
And
them.
that digs into your winter hay.
Yes, it digs into our winter hay, so it's going to cost us more
Yeah.
to keep the cows, and it also affects my milk production.
Yes.
The heat right now is so hot, and the cows, first of all, their pastures are not producing, so they're not eating real lush grass to produce lots of milk. It's very hot, and we've got a lot of flies right now, and those three things combined affects the milk amount of milk that my cows do. And I'm also looking at going into fall calving. So I have cows who have been milking for close to a year because we didn't breed, we didn't have a bull, and we weren't breeding quite the way we should have. And so my cows are now going past those cows that calved, say, last spring, not this past spring, but the year before,
Oh,
are still milking.
Okay.
And they're bred back now, but they're not bred back to calve until like September and October. And so those cows are really taking a hit because they've been in milk for long enough, and now their food quality isn't as high as it could be or should be.
Have you dried them up?
I have dried up a couple, and I decided on a couple of our older cows that are really not taking this well, that we are going to be processing them, and we're going to be making them into hamburger. I probably talked to you about that, about ground beef, and I have like 3 of them sold. In fact, we just had a butcher here, and he purchased a live pig from us for, I don't know what he was doing with it, but he wanted a pig, and he mentioned that they actually have openings for processing beef right now. And it's Thomas.
Oh, Thomas. Okay.
Yeah, from Kirkland Country Butcher.
I'm like going,
And so I did talk to Georgia this
Okay.
morning about it, and so I'll be contacting my people on my list who are looking for ground beef, and we'll see
saying
if
that you
they're-
have a spot.
yeah, that I have a spot, but I have to use a different butcher and see if
Yep.
people are ready for their burger,
Yeah.
and if they're okay with me using a different butcher, because
Our normal butcher right now is in chicken mode.
Yep, he's in chicken mode, and he said unless he gets a cancellation, he can't put anything in for me until I think it was the 21st of August is the first he can do a ground to
ground.
grind a cow, not cut one,
Yeah.
not do cuts, but just to grind up a cow.
Because mine is going in October.
Yours is going in October, yes.
And stuff. And so I'm expecting it the middle of October, the end of October.
Yeah, because she'll have to hang.
Yeah.
So it happens to be a heifer who is obviously a free martin, and if you don't know what a free martin is a heifer who is sterile. Now, she was a single birth. Sage was a single birth, so I'm not sure why, but she absolutely will not breed.
Yeah.
And we've tried different bulls on her. We have not tried to AI her, but if a bull can't get her, pretty sure AI isn't going to work. And so right now she's cruising around with our dairy cows, and I'm trying to make sure she's still cycling. So we got a little bit of time before.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just in case, but everyone else her age has already calved at least once.
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming that something is not correct for her as far as breeding goes. And that's what happens.
That's farm life.
Yep, that's the way it is. And so we're looking that far out, for processing and stuff. And for some people that's okay because it gives them a chance to clean out their freezer and whatever and get ready.
Yeah, that's me. I'm because probably about the same time I'm like I'm probably going to need pork at the same time
Okay.
because I only bought a half a pork from you last time.
Right.
So
Yep.
so
Okay.
it's like probably about that time I'll probably need pork.
Okay. Well,
too.
we got piggies out there too.
You have piggies.
We
You're
got
already
piggies all over the place. But anyway, so that's kind of what we're doing to try to curb this a little bit. Trying to keep, if we have a few less cows that aren't producing what they should be or whatever, then we can maybe cut down our numbers and, it doesn't cost us quite so much to feed them. Because, really, I always figured summertime is kind of free feed.
Yeah.
Kind of, but not right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have to start feeding hay in order to keep the cows fed.
Yeah.
We need to keep them fed. Let's see. Anything else?
Herd-wise.
Herd-wise. The only other thing that we did, oh my gosh, it's a huge thing.
You've been working on this for a while.
Yes, we've been working on this for a little while, but we launched our herd share program out here this past week. And we're in that last week in June.
June, yeah.
2023. So at the time of this recording, we have just launched that, and it kind of just blew up. And not that I'm complaining, but
You got to figure out
now,
the
if you go back
logistics.
to what we just talked about with the cows and everything, is that I have to be very careful so that I can make sure that I can service everyone,
meet that supply.
meet that demand and that supply, and make sure those who have herd shares are able to get their
Serviced.
milk and get what they want. And so I'm just kind of feeling it out right now. Lot of interest coming from the Twin Cities area, which is a good 2 hours from us.
2.5, I bet.
2.5. And so that creates some problems as far as if people are looking for drop sites, because the minute people think of herd shares, they think of drop sites, and we are not set up for herd. We're not set up to do drop sites at the moment.
You would have enough to you would have to either have a freezer truck or a ton of coolers.
Yeah, a lot of coolers. And so people do it. There's lots of farms that do things like that. It's just that we're not there yet.
Yeah.
And maybe this fall, after all my cows are calving and we've got a lot more milk, we will maybe discuss that. But for right now, our herd share involves you coming to the farm and picking up your product. And if you're only looking for milk and butter, if you're only looking for milk, cream, skim milk, you do not need a herd share as long as you pick up at the farm. So you only need the herd share for us if you want to buy butter, cream cheese, ghee, cheese curds, those things that
you change the milk.
Yeah, we change the milk. And how we do that to keep within the laws in Minnesota is you purchase your herd share, which entitles you to a gallon of milk, and then you pay us a labor fee to turn that milk into something else.
Yep.
And so that's how that works. So for us, now I don't know how many people listen locally here, because you really have to be local to take advantage of it at the moment.
You'd be surprised.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm always surprised at the number of people. It's like, I heard your podcast.
So if you're looking for a raw milk source and you live in the
central Minnesota
area around Wilmer, Benson,
you've had people from Marshall.
I have someone who comes from Milan. I have people come from Painesville. So Spicer, New London, those areas.
Glenwood. Glenwood would be close enough. Starbucks.
Yeah, I've had some interest from Alexandria.
Yep. And we're only an hour from South Dakota.
Yep. So we are here, and we are more than happy to supply you with raw milk. But for the moment, our herd share are
limited.
Everything is limited to picking up at the farm. And there are ways to work around that. You can get a group of your little friends together, and one of you can make a run for all of you and pick up the milk every other week, something like that. Those are all things that we can do.
You already have people that do that.
Yes, I do have people who do that.
In a family. I think you said a 3-year rotation, and you see the whole family.
I had a one family, and they had like 10 kids, and I saw mom and dad and I think 2 or 3 of the children, and they just rotated through here. And that was from Howick. They were from Howick, Hancock.
Hancock is west.
Okay, yep.
Howick is north.
Okay, no, it was Hancock.
I just didn't think.
Yeah, so
I used to love geography, but now my brain, I'm like going, where is that town?
And so that's kind of how our herd share works. So we're just kind of feeling our way through it, and we're learning right along with everybody else. And
I'm sure there's going to be growing pains.
Yep. And if I could right now, I would probably pick my farm up and move it to the cities, because
you'd make more money down there.
I would be able to I would sell out every day. Honestly, there is such a demand in the cities.
Wow.
So honestly, if you are a raw milk farmer
and you
are not tapping into that market, and you're near the cities, you really need to, because I keep hearing everybody, all the herd shares in the cities are full. They're all full. I'm on a waiting list. I'm on a waiting list. I'm on a waiting list. I hear this all the time.
Oh, wow.
And so if you were interested in starting up a raw milk dairy, I'd set it up down by the city somewhere.
Yeah.
Because there is definitely a demand for it. The demand is really growing for raw milk, which is awesome.
Yeah,
it's totally awesome. I wish I could service everyone, but I can't.
Yeah. Poor gals, you can't, sit out there with a whip and like, do it, girls.
I couldn't even do the time for delivering.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, I don't have the time.
You don't have the time to leave
Yep.
the farm.
Yeah, I don't have the time right now. So, but we'll see. Maybe
Yeah.
things will change. I don't know, but
Yeah, how it unfolds.
We'll
That's
see
great.
how
I'm
the
excited to
herd
see.
share saga goes on here.
We'll update you.
Yes.
It's like,
So that's probably the big thing that's happening out here right
Yeah.
now. I think we're going to take a quick break here to hear from our friends from PeteCoSupply.com.
Family-owned PeteCoSupply.com brings small-town customer service to their online farm store. PeteCoSupply.com specializes in automatic waterers from top brands such as Miraco, Jug, Franklin, Trojan, and Ritchie, as well as other products for your operation. Find your farm supplies and automatic waterers at PeteCoSupply.com. That's PeteCo Supply.com. PeteCo Supply.
And we're back. Oh, we attended Curdfest.
I was going to say, we never talked about Curdfest,
No,
did we?
we did not. I don't think so. And you sent me pictures that you had taken. I
Yeah.
didn't even put them up on our Facebook page yet.
Because I was like, I didn't take one of us together. Did you?
I think I did. I think I did one where I was, just
The arm out there?
yeah, the arm out there. You told me my arms were longer,
Your
so I
arms
could
are
get everybody in the
longer.
picture. But we attended Curdfest, which is put on by the Redhead Creamery in Brooton, Minnesota.
Yep.
And
That was good.
We
It was
were there
fun.
last year
Yep.
with our husbands, and this year we went ourselves with my disabled daughter.
Yep.
And just as an outing
She
for her.
seemed fascinated with it
Yep.
all.
And we did a really good job. No sunburn on her.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I thought you had one stripe on her arm.
Nope. It
No.
must have been from me rubbing her skin
No,
and putting
okay.
that sunscreen on her. So we were there, and you checked out a vendor for the that soda pop.
Oh, yes. Northern.
What was it?
I just drank one. But they're out of the Twin Cities.
Yep. And they make
Northern, is it Northern Lights?
I was thinking it was Northern Lights.
Northern Lights soda.
And they do 1950s style.
flavors.
Yep.
And there's not been one I haven't liked yet.
Okay.
I bought a case.
Yep.
I bought a case because of course it was cheaper to buy a case.
Yep.
And I don't drink pop that has corn syrup in it. And this is made with corn. It's not the cleanest. It's got
It's got colors.
It's got
coloring.
colors in it, and then it's got
Artificial flavoring.
Yes.
Yes.
And so,
But it has natural sugar. It has cane sugar,
it's
right?
cane sugar. Yep. And so, yes, it was good. And they have a website. And they are, if you're in the Minnesota area, they work with all the Corbin's Cashwise stores. They tell me, I have not checked out ours.
I haven't either.
So you should be able to go in there. And actually, what's really funny in Kirkhoven, we have this little tiny ice cream shop that's called Sweets. And I said, I'm from Kirkhoven. He looks at me, he goes, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. He goes, Sweets in Kirkhoven sells our soda pop. And I'm like, okay. I have not been there to pick up because I try to avoid, I eat sugar, but I don't eat a lot of sugar.
You don't want to eat ice cream?
I do. I want ice cream, but
Because they're only open in the
they're afternoons.
and they're only open over the summer months.
Yes.
Right.
Their kids run it a lot. And so I'm sure, after school, I think they open Memorial Weekend. And I don't know if they'll probably be closing Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, probably. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure they're only open during the summer months.
And
they're busy.
Yeah, they're open 1 or 2 in the afternoon until like 9 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And stuff. It's cute. I mean, you see a lot of people sitting down there and gab, and we have. I mean, we've gone there and sit down and gabbed with people.
Good ice cream.
Yeah, good ice cream. Small town type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to have a little shop like
Yeah.
that in such a little town.
And I think it used to be a former. We'd have to ask. Is that a former gas station building that they're in?
He might not know.
Yeah, yeah. He says it's a former gas station because he grew up in Kirkhoven area and stuff, and so he would maybe know.
Yes, but yeah, that's a cute little shop. It was just kind of funny that we
that we were from the same place.
He actually knew Kirkhoven as a
Kirkhoven's a dot on the road.
Yes, it is. If you blink, you might miss it.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're not quite. Little DeGraff west of us, they are.
They're smaller.
They're 200 and some people. We're 750 something.
Big time.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
So what else is going on in our world?
Curdfest. Oh, let's talk a little bit more about Redhead Creamery.
Oh yes.
They are putting up a distillery
and a restaurant.
and a restaurant. And the sign, we looked at the sign and we should have taken a picture of it, but it said lots of restrooms or lots of bathrooms or something like that.
Oh.
Because, you think about restaurants, lots of times, sometimes have to wait to get into the bathroom. So I thought that was pretty clever that they
Or at their Curdfest, they have porta potties.
Yeah, they have porta potties. But their cheese is really good if you have a chance to try it. They do.
I like their Lindy.
Yep, they have.
Or is it Linda? Is it Lindy or Linda?
Her mother's name is Linda. That's the cheddar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's their.
Yeah, they had 3 cheeses out that they were sampling this year.
One had whiskey.
One had been rinsed in whiskey.
Yeah, and what was the other one?
I don't remember.
That one was that. I don't remember. That one had alcohol too, wasn't it?
Could have been. It was rinsed in something.
Yep.
But they were good. I don't think I've had a cheese out there that I don't like.
Yep, their cheese is really quite good. You can find it. They do retail. You can find it in Cashwise in Wilmer anyway.
Yep.
And I know you can order it online. And it's redheadcreamery.com, I believe. They do all kinds of things. Oh my goodness gracious.
They do deliver in the area.
Yes.
I don't know where they deliver.
Yeah. And I know you can order.
Yep.
You can order, and they lots of times have charcuterie boards at Christmas time and
holidays.
Oh yeah. And did they have an advent calendar?
Yes, I think they did.
At Christmas time last year.
Didn't they do a Valentine's special too?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So they've got an on-site store.
Yes, I love their little store.
Yeah, it's really
They have
cute.
Minnesota products.
Yep.
I think most of them are Minnesota products.
Could be. I don't know. They
might not be all of them, but some of them.
Yep.
Or most of them are Minnesota products.
Yep. And it's a really cute little shop. They sell cheese curds that are already pre-breaded and frozen, and so you can just get those. So if you like your deep fried or baked or however. I guess I didn't even read the directions as to what they were. If you're supposed to, how you're supposed to make them, but. Since we make our own. So
yeah, which I haven't done lately. Actually, I'll admit it. I had to buy cheese. I'm like running out because because of the weather and because of gardening, I have not made cheese. I've made mozzarella cheese. I haven't made
your
cheese.
Source of milk is over here trying to keep the cows milking. So that, that's a thing too. Because I'm pretty much sold out of milk all the time right now.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of extra milk.
Yeah. It's like, cause actually I bought 2 gallons last week and I still have a gallon left. And it's like, I really don't need milk this week.
Then that's just fine.
Carol's like, okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's fine. I don't mean to turn away business, but yeah, it's just
like, oh my God, I'm going to
fine.
have to make an appointment to get my milk now too.
You might have to.
I could just slide in here and get it whenever I wanted it.
Let's see what else. Oh, I've been going down another little rabbit hole.
Oh gosh, what now? I haven't heard about this one.
Well, you probably have because you heard about it on Friday when you guys were over here.
Yeah.
But I decided that maybe I wanted to go checking out making skincare products.
Oh yes, we talked about this Friday night.
Yep. So I was on Amazon and I found this book called The Big Book of Homemade Products for Your Skin, Health, and Home. And there's a lot of really good information in here. Lots of recipes. It's authored by Jan Berry, and if you don't know who she is the founder of the blog The Nerdy Farm Wife. And I bought this book not even realizing that I actually follow her.
On Facebook? Or?
Yeah, I follow her on Facebook. And I actually had a couple of her recipes printed off over there
on
the
website?
coffee,
Okay.
on my coffee table over there. And so I'm looking at maybe we could start a product line of some lotions and stuff where people could purchase those from us. And so I'm over there. I've got plantain.
Actually, I found plantain in
Did
my
you
yard.
find some? Okay. Well, I have some in olive oil and in sweet almond oil sitting there brewing in my cupboard. And I also started, I don't know how to say this correctly, calendula. That word right over there.
Calendula. Something like that.
Well, I don't know.
Calendula. It's a flower.
It's a flower, a yellow flower. And I had ordered that off of Amazon.
That's a big bag. That's a lot of flowers.
That's a pound over there. I was like, oh, okay, that was bigger than I needed. But I'm having some trouble with my cows right now. And the grass, some of the pastures they're in, because we haven't hit every pasture yet, have longer, taller grass, and it's cutting their teats.
Oh,
So their
poor
teats are
girls.
scratched up. And so I'm making some salve for them using that flour in it to help heal their teats. Now, in the wintertime, I use salve on them all the time to protect them from frostbite. So I'm going to be using this on the cows and see if I can heal their teats a little bit. They don't seem to care. It doesn't seem to bother them as far as pain-wise. But
even scratches.
Yeah, I just don't like how it looks. I'll just be honest. I just don't like how it looks. I don't like them having cuts on their teats, and even though they're superficial, they're not real big.
They would still be susceptible to an infection, I would think.
And plus, on the plus side, that also putting that salve on there keeps the flies from biting them or bothering those cuts, those scratches and stuff like that. So hey, win-win.
The flies are horrible.
Yeah,
right now.
They've actually gotten better. They're not as bad as they were a week ago.
I have not.
Oh my goodness.
We have a deck, and I have some awesome chairs that I bought from a Mennonite guy over by Grove City a few years ago. And we love to sit out on the deck and rock and stuff, old people stuff.
Oh, grandma, grandpa stuff.
Yes. And, but the last few days, I just I'm done. I can't handle the flies anymore because all I do is sit and swat. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, poor animals.
You were saying you take a sheet and wrap it around.
Yes, I did. We had people stop the other night and excuse me, I have an old fashioned milk box by my door. So if if somebody wants to pick up something, I used to sell a cosmetic brand, and if somebody wanted to pick something, I'd put it in there. I have 2 sheets in there so that I can pull them out and wrap them around my legs because it just drives me crazy when the flies sit and, and then they're biting.
Yes, I was going to say that we have biting flies out here because of the cattle.
Yeah.
And they're vicious. And they find that one sweet spot and you shoo them away and they come right and they hit that same spot.
Yeah.
But have you heard? No, besides something I learned, Kelsey had asked me, and bring Kelsey in here.
Kelsey,
again. Yeah. She had asked me about milking her cow, and she had gotten that second cow. She's picked up a second cow from us, and she's like, "Oh, she's so frustrated with the flies, and I get frustrated, and we're just both
swatting
just pissed off by the end of evening milking. Morning milking wasn't so bad. Evening milking when the flies are really bad." And she says, "Can I just stop milking her in the evening?" And I was like, "Yeah, you can't. She's milking too heavy for you. You really do need to milk her twice a day, or somehow wean her off. You can't just stop.
It'd be like when you're breastfeeding a child and then you cold turkey stop. No,
you can't do that for her. She's too fresh, whatever." And she's like, "Okay." And then I was on one of my cow groups, and somebody's like, "Coconut oil will keep the flies off your cow." And so I forwarded that to Kelsey, and I was like, "I don't know. I've never used coconut oil that way. I have no idea, but I know you have it in your house." And she's like, "I do. I'm going to try it." And so the next evening milking, that evening I got a message from her, and she says, "Works like a charm." She said she put it on her muzzle. She put it on the cow's muzzle, not her own.
Glad we clarified that for her.
She put it on the cow's muzzle because the flies seemed to be on her face and on her legs and underbelly. And so she put coconut oil on her muzzle and on the cow's legs, the entire leg from where it hits the body all the way down to the hoof. Works like a charm. She says it was beautiful. I had no problem. I said, "Well, does it work on humans?" And she's like, "Well, I don't know." And so then the next day I get a message from her. It says, "I can attest that, yes, it does work on humans too."
Oh, I will.
So,
okay, we'll put it to test tonight. I'll put it on and go sit on the porch.
See if it helps. I don't know. I haven't tried it. In my situation with my cows, too, I cannot apply coconut oil the way I milk. I don't sit next to my cow and hand milk or whatever. I'm behind my cows. I can only access their back legs. And honestly, I only need them to stand still for 20 minutes. And my homemade fly repellent works that way.
Do you have that? Can you give them a recipe for your fly stuff?
Off
the top of your head?
Off the top of my head. Let's see. It's 1 cup of apple cider vinegar, 1 cup of oil, and you can use mineral oil, olive oil,
any liquid
vegetable oil,
any
whatever kind of oil you want. 2 tablespoons of dish soap. And then I use a combination of essential oils. And I don't know if the measurements are so important Uh-oh.
We're going to finish
We're
your
going to
recipe.
finish.
though.
That was our timer. We've talked for 20 or 30 minutes.
See, it's like,
But anyway, we're just going to ignore the timer. And we're just put that
we're
over
just
there.
gonna like going, yeah.
And let's see. Okay, so it's
Essential oils.
essential oils, and I use grapefruit and eucalyptus, lemongrass, clove, and citronella.
Okay.
And the clove is a quarter teaspoon, and the grapefruit is a quarter of a teaspoon. Everything else is a half a teaspoon. That
Because
makes a
you're-
concentrate.
Oh, that's a concentrate.
That's a concentrate. And so I mixed
So
that
what kind of vessel are you putting that? Are you putting that in a canning jar?
I put it in, I don't make it in that small amount because I use a lot.
I'm wondering you're
Yep,
using
yeah,
it.
I use it. I put it in a
gallon?
1 gallon vinegar jug because I have lots of vinegar because I use lots of vinegar in my recipe. So I use one of those jugs and I put my concentrate in there, and then it is a 5-to-1 ratio, 5 parts water to 1 part of your concentrate. And so, and then I use a spray bottle. I do have one of those,
Pumper bottles?
I have the big one where you like spray weeds in your yard, you know,
Yeah.
the little, that holds a gallon and a half or whatever. But the essential oils eat up the seals in that.
Oh,
they
yes.
don't last real long. We bought a more expensive one that was like a stainless steel, fancy one, and I used it last year, and the rubber pieces are all over the place. Rich has cleaned it out. It just doesn't work anymore. So I just use the cheapy model. Right now I have one because I'm not doing 30, 40 cows. I'm only doing 10, 15, 20 cows. You know, I'm not doing quite so many. And so then I have actually a handheld one that I found in Walmart.
I would think your hand would be so tired.
It's not that heavy because it only holds a quart.
Well, I would think the extra.
Well,
pump.
no, it's actually for the thumb.
Oh,
It
you
goes
push
down
it.
this way because you can see that right there on the. My thumb
the
holds
mic,
that
yep.
down, and there's actually a thing that keeps it on. You can just push a button and it'll stay on.
Oh.
But my arm gets tired from the weight being so far away from me because I do spray the front of their front legs, and so that's a
so they're
reach
not
for me.
kicking
Yeah.
it.
But that works really well, and I only paid like $7 for this little spray canister thing, and it works beautifully. The flies stay off my cows. They do really well for about 20 minutes or so, and that's long enough for me to milk and get them out of the barn. But I will say that if I let one set of cows out, so let's say I'm milking 20 cows, I can only milk 14 at a time in my barn. So I send out a row. I send out 7 cows and bring in another 7 cows. When those cows come in with the new flies, the cows that are still in the barn that have been sprayed will get attacked.
Okay. So
It wears off at some point.
Yeah,
but I spray myself.
It wouldn't be an all-night thing.
No. You know, they're not going to be fly free. But my cows don't stand in a barn all night long either. My cows are outside, and so they can move.
Swish.
And the breeze, whatever. You know, that they're able to do that. You know, they're not stuck in a barn with a bunch of
flies.
Yeah. So it works really well for me, and how we milk out here. And I mean, a lot of farmers don't use anything. You know.
Yeah. That would drive me crazy.
Yeah. But I have to do it. I don't want bugs. Anyway.
So is there anything else we need to talk about?
Because our timer went off. And
I mean, because there's really nothing, you know, I'm just gardening, you know, trying to keep my plants alive with lack of rain. Well, we did have rain this weekend.
Yeah, we got rain. We didn't. You guys have getting more rain than us.
Yeah, we've had over an inch in town, and so you're only 6 miles east of us.
Yes,
and it
goes around us.
Yeah.
We get rain, but it's not rain. It's like a shower.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like a 5-minute thing, isn't it?
Well, it kind of goes on, off and on. I mean, I actually did some content. I was doing some recording. I was going to go out and pick some elder flowers that I have growing. You probably saw it there when you came, if you saw the cows in the pasture.
Oh,
that's an elderberry bush.
Oh, I'll have to look when I leave.
That's black elderberries that are growing there. And so I was going to go out and pick some of those flowers because in my book here that I got from the Nerdy Farm Wife, there's recipes in there for using the flowers and using the berries, and we're not at berry stage yet. We're just at flowers. And so I thought, I'll go out there and dry them. They're laying right over there drying.
Oh, I see them now. Okay.
And I told Rich, I said, well, I'm going to try to go out there in between showers. No, you'll see me. I have a video of me standing under a tree trying to stay dry while it's pouring.
The one time we had a downpour.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not complaining. Here I am out here, soaking wet or whatever. And I was going to record, the plant, but it was pouring rain, and my phone is not waterproof, and I'm not about to take it out and record something and lose my phone in the process. So I did pick them in the rain because I was like, okay, it stopped for a second. So I went running out there and I got away from the trees. So I was really, really wet. But, we got a decent amount of rain, but we are so dry.
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not enough for your grass.
Yeah, we need that a lot of that, a lot more of that.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know if we really had a thunderstorm move through here.
We have not had a thunderstorm.
No, not a thunderstorm. No.
We might get some lightning.
But yeah, we really haven't had much for thunderstorms in the last 2-3 weeks or whatever.
No.
And so, yeah.
It was Sunday, it rained.
So, yeah. So if you are a praying person,
yes,
please pray for the farmers, because
pray for that harvest.
They could really use the rain. I mean, we could really use it. We're not the only farm that is affected by this. Your conventional farmers are too. It affects everything. You know.
So pray for the harvest.
Yep. And
whatever.
See if we can get some more rain out here, because we are kind of dry. I know they're wet on the east coast. Is it Maine?
Oh.
A friend of mine is like, oh my gosh, it just keeps raining. And I was like, please send.
Yeah.
Please send some this way.
Pack it up and send it this way.
Send it this way, please.
Well, actually, the Garden Answer YouTuber that I watch on YouTube, they're Eastern Oregon high desert, and normally this time of year, they usually get like 9 inches of rain yearly. Mm-hmm. I mean, we can have 9 inches in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, yep.
or sometimes in a day. Mm-hmm. But they have had a very unusual cooler. By June, they're having over 100 degrees. They haven't had 100 degrees yet. And they've had more rain than they can ever remember.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's probably they're having what we normally would have and stuff. And storms. Yeah. They had hail.
Yeah. See, and I don't like thunderstorms. I mean, I like thunderstorms, but not as a farmer. I have cattle that are out in the thunderstorm.
Them.
Yeah. And I don't like hail. Because I'm a farmer, and you don't like hail either, because it destroys your garden.
Yeah, it destroys the garden.
Yeah, whatever. But I see too many pictures of cattle being killed from lightning strikes when they have their heads in a hay feeder. Now, granted, most of the time our cattle are not being fed in a hay feeder in the summertime when we have thunderstorms.
Yeah.
But that might be happening because our pastures are not producing, and so we may have to feed them. So then I don't want no thunderstorms. I just want rain.
Yeah.
Because that just freaks me out. I do not like that. I don't want to walk out and find my
cow fried.
My cows all dead laying around the hay ring.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I know.
See, as a city person, you don't think about that.
Yeah, you don't think about things like that. But that could be quite devastating.
It could be.
Yep. Anyway, enough about the gloom and doom here.
Gloom and doom.
Yes. Anything else? Well, okay. So I guess our listeners, if you are interested in our lotions and potions, as you called it, and if we should start a product line, because I already dabble in this a little bit just for my cows.
Well, yeah,
if it's good for my cows, why can't it be good for us?
Yeah, I have personally, and I have not found a lotion, because I'm on a, have been for quite a few years. I mean, that's how I started drinking organic milk and trying to get pesticides and chemicals out of my life. And we won't talk about my soda pop that we were talking about earlier.
That's just a treat.
Yeah. I mean, but I try, in cleaning products and everything, I have tried to get chemicals because of the industry my husband and I are in. I mean, we're in chemicals, he's more in our chemicals, but I'm around it, the oils and stuff that he needs to use for his business. It's like, so in our home and in our food, we're trying to do less and less chemicals and, cleaner, less food dyes and stuff. I'm a harping grandma now. It's like, that's got food dyes in it. You shouldn't really be feeding that to your kids. It's like, poor Zane, he goes, can I have some Skittles? And I go, no, Skittles have colors in them. Those colors aren't good for you.
Oh, you're a mean grandma. Oh,
but I will give him other sweets, that aren't full of colors,
Well, you got to admit, Skittles are colorful.
They are very colorful. And I'm sure that's part of the attraction for kids is the colors in them. They're very bright. I mean, I love Amish quilts. Amish quilts are very, very bright colors on a black background. That quilt just speaks to me. And so colors, I mean, you know me, I'm pretty plain like right now on a general, but if you see, I bought a new shirt at Walmart last weekend. It's bright. it's flowers and stuff and it's bright. And then, the story, my daughter Jackie listens to me and she's like, I can remember I had bought a new shirt and it was like rainbow. I mean, when it was brand new, it was very, very bright. And I had gone shopping to Aldi's and I was getting and putting groceries in my car and she's driving by because she's, in her 20s, late 20s at the time. She goes, wow, that's a shirt my mom would wear. Oh, that's my mom. So she had to pull in the parking lot and tell me. So yes, color is my life. The brighter, the, So, whatever.
Yes. When you're recognized by your shirt.
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
So anyway.
Okay. So anything. So yeah, if you're interested in us putting out a product line, I'd love to hear about it. I'm not sure exactly when I'm looking at this or whatever, but how and stuff. But
we got to look at logistics.
Yep. And then we got to test out
recipes.
Test out the recipes on ourselves as well before we put something out.
Oh, that's what I was starting to say. What did I tell that? Sorry, because I had made tried to make a whipped body butter and I did not like the recipe.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard, sometimes it's kind of greasy and
yep. The one I had was greasy and then they said to put arrowroot in it to kind of absorb some of that. And then I thought it was gritty.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm sure there's a formula out there to make it how you want it.
That doesn't have preservatives or anything. If we could make it without preservatives, that'd be awesome. But sometimes you can't.
Sometimes you have to do something in order to get it just to keep.
Yeah.
You spend all that time making it. You want to be able to keep it and use it. Did we mention when we talked about 4jars.shop that we actually have a code?
Oh, no, we did not.
Okay, so we have these canning lids. Now, we haven't had a chance to use them yet.
Yep.
You were talking about making some jam
Hopefully
here,
this weekend
or
I can
juice
get
or something. And hopefully this weekend you'll
Yep.
get to that and be able to do a little review on. But boy, the reviews I see are just awesome.
Yeah, because actually I was just a different brand. I won't say the brand is. I used it to can corn last year. I opened a jar, and there was black. The food looked still good, but the coating on the inside of the lid had turned black in spots, and it had fallen in when I opened it up. So it's like, I'm throwing this away. That really sucks.
Yeah. Well, hopefully these 4-jar lids do an awesome job. But we do have a code. It's small farm, one word, and it will get you 10% off your products. If
That's
you decide
awesome.
to order
10% is 10%.
Yeah, 10%. That's nice. And like we were talking, they do sell the
100
lids
pack
in bulk, so you can get 100 of them if you're a huge canner.
Towels. They had towels.
Yeah, they had towels as well.
I opened one of them.
Yep, I got one hanging in my kitchen.
Yep, I'm using one. I really love it. And the other ones I'm keeping nice for photo ops.
Well, mine has a little loop on it.
Oh, I didn't look at it.
Oh,
I have a bar rack that I hang mine on.
Yeah, mine's hanging on one of my ovens. And it's got a little loop on it. I'm not sure what
you can hang it on a hook. I
maybe. Bet. Yeah, I don't know. I just like the nice little print on the front. I like the little graphic that they have on there.
Yeah.
And so I've just got it there for decoration at the moment.
Oh no, I'm using and abusing this one. I'm going to put it through the ringer.
Okay.
And I will not throw it in with my regular laundry. I use a lot of microfiber cloths and stuff, and so and I have enough to do once a month.
Mm-hmm.
And so
that gets washed in there.
Yeah, I'm going to wash it in there.
See how it holds up.
So because sometimes towel fuzz will, like bathtub towels, fuzz would stick to that fiber.
Yes, the microfibers. Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure I mentioned that you can get 10% off using the small farm code there at 4jars.shop. And
I think we're probably good.
We're
better
probably
stop.
good. Yeah, I don't know how far we've gone past our 30 minutes here, but the tinger went off.
Hey, it kind of helped us.
Yeah, it kind of helped us a little bit.
And it's a cute little timer. Got to figure out something to use it.
It's a cute little timer. Yeah, that is. It's adorable. It looks like a little canning pot. And that's from 4jars.
Yep.
.shop. So anyhow, I think that's about it. And we'll
talk to you next time, guys.
Yep. Sounds good. Bye. So until next time.
Put some kefir on it.
Thank you for listening to the Homestead Podcast's latest episode. Your hosts, Carol Radke and Jamie Kappas, are Two Gals Homesteading. To learn more, go to twogalshomesteading.com or the Two Gals Homesteading Facebook page at facebook.com/twogalshomesteading. Editing, audio production, and marketing of the Homestead Podcast is the responsibility of Media Transx. The Homestead Podcast is an audio product of Media Transx, a limited liability company, based in Minnesota, USA.